Hello students, in this lecture we're going to be talking about the math class and methods that return values in Java. What we're going to learn is how to perform math operations in Java beyond just basic arithmetic, so beyond plus, minus, multiply, and divide. And we're going to look at how to interpret Java method documentation. At the end of this you're going to write a program that's going to use the math class, and that's going to use something called numeric literals and numeric variables as the parameters. So let's go ahead and get started. Does Java provide code or provide instructions or special commands for doing some common math operations like square root? And the answer is yes, it does. It's part of the math library. There are many math operations that you can execute using the proper command from the Java math class. Alright, so the question then is, what math operations are available in the math class? The short answer is there's lots of them, but I do have a list here. These are some of the commands available, along with a short description of what each command does. The word in bold over here is the actual command, and that is also known as the method name. So these, think of these as commands, but we're going to use the word method in programming. So there's the ABS, or the ABS method, which returns and deals with the absolute value. We're going to kind of go into this a little bit in more detail in a moment, but there's a max method, a minimum method, a POW, which is short for power, random, round, and square root. And these are just a few of them. If you go to this website, then you will see all of the methods that are available. So scroll down here, these are the fields. We're not interested in those just quite yet, but here you can start to see the ABS method. Here the name is over here on the right hand side. This is the modifier type. We will get into all that information later, but here you got the A cosine, which is the arc cosine. There's arc sine, arc tangent, there's cube root, just scrolling through here, ceiling, all the regular trig functions like sine, cosine, and tangent are here, as well as the hyperbolic sine, cosine, and unless you're in calculus, you probably don't know necessarily what those mean. Floor, there's all sorts of these things that do modulus. Hypotenuse, ooh, that's pretty cool. That's going to return the square root of x squared plus y squared. Logarithms, and then, and you can see here, there's all kinds of other ones. And you really don't need to know what all of those mean, or what they do, unless you are going to be a pretty in-depth Java programmer. So let's go back here, and these are the methods, however, that we're going to be focusing in on. So this is the documentation, but that documentation doesn't really tell us how to use them in a Java program. So let's first talk about how to interpret the documentation here. And we're going to focus in just here on this first method, ABS, which is the absolute value. So if we look at that top line, and it says int ABS, and then parentheses, and int x. And the description is it returns the absolute value of integer x. So there are several different parts of this description right here. The first part right here, this is the output information type. That's the return type. The official name for this first word here is the return type. It's what the type of information that this method is going to give you. Then what was bolded there, that's the method name. Then we have these parentheses, and inside the parentheses there's two things written, int x. So the first here is the parameter type, and the second one there is the parameter name. And so the parameter type is the input information type, and this right here, the x, is a placeholder name for the input. So if you want to think of this in like math functions terms, what you put in the parentheses is the input, and then this is its name, and then this is the type of output that you're going to get. Is this method going to give to you, return to you, or produce an integer, or a double, or a long, or something else like that? And you can see the return type there, right? They're listed on the left hand side. So let's get down to it. How do I use the math command? And I have a fully working program right here. math class demo 1 with the main method. And we say system.println, and then inside the print line I just say math.abs -5. So in order to access the math methods, you actually have to have the word math, uppercase M, and then dot, and then whatever that method name is. So ABS or max or min or whatever that happens to be. And then I have the parentheses, and I'll put either one number in there or two numbers in there or 3 or 4, or maybe no numbers in there. It depends on the actual command. We can see the ABS command is expecting one piece of information. The max method is expecting 2 pieces of information, int A and int B, separated by a comma. So this is a great program here. We'll just go ahead and copy that, paste it on over here, Dr. Java, compile it, which is going to force us to save it, and then we'll run it. And if look correctly, we should be able to see it. This should print out the absolute value of -5, which, yep, it's 5. Math.max, which, if we look back at the documentation, returns the greater of A and B. So whichever one of those is bigger, 7 or 21, and it returns 21. And so basically this whole expression right here is replaced with the value 21. And so Java will print out 21. Right here we have math.max 6 and 3. Obviously 6 is the bigger of the two, and so this command right here gets evaluated and returns a value of 6, and so therefore it will print out 6. So you can think of it kind of like a math problem, so to speak. So it's, you have something here that's a little bit more complex inside the larger parentheses, and obviously you're going to evaluate whatever's inside the parentheses first. So you evaluate all of this, which this evaluates to 6, and so then we print 6. This expression right here evaluates 21, so we print 21. This would evaluate to 5, so we print 5. All right. Next question, can I put variables inside those method commands? So you notice up here we had actual numbers, so those were numeric literals. If we go all the way back here at the end of the lesson, you'll be expected to use math class with numeric literals. All right, so that's like this guy right here, -5, 7, 21, so on and so forth. But then in this program right here, you can have those same commands, math.abs, math.max, math.max again, but have variables on the inside, and those variables are set up here equal to some values. So I'm going to go ahead and copy that code, paste it in here. Might need to clean it up just a bit. I'm not sure why there's these extra lines, but so x is -4, y is 8, and z is 19. So when I run this, this is saying math.abs x, so x is -4, so we would expect that this would print out 4. Then that's math.abs, so absolute value. Then math.max between x and y, so between -4 and 8. Well, 8 is the larger of the two, so we would expect that 8 would be printed out here. And math.max between z and y, so we look at those two, and clearly z is larger, and so we would expect that it would be 19. And as we run it, we see the 4, the 8, and the 19. So that's an example of having variables inside the methods. So let's go ahead and talk about those items there, that information inside the parentheses. What do the words inside the parentheses mean? So there's a technical computer science word for those, and that word is parameters. The parameters tell you how many pieces of information or how many inputs the method requires, as well as the type of that information that is required. So let's go ahead and consider the math.pow method, which is short for power. So if we look here at the documentation, it says double pal, and then in parentheses double base, comma, double exponent. And it returns the base raised to the exponent. So the way we would interpret this description is as follows. The pal method requires two pieces of information. This piece of information right here, and then this piece of information right here. The first parameter, the first piece of information, must be of type double. The second parameter, second piece of information, which is this right here, is also going to require a double. The parameters are separated by a comma, and the pal method will output the first number raised to the second number. So if I had like 2 and 3 right here, then it would take 2 and raise it to the third power. So 2 times 2 times 2, which would be 8. Now you might say, what about the base and the exponent? Those words right there. Well, those are the names of the parameters, and in all reality, they don't really matter. You don't have to type them in, as we'll see here in a second, or reference them in any way. But they are helpful as the documentation goes, because they clearly communicate the role each input data piece plays. So for instance, if they just said double A and double B, then that really would not have been very helpful. But if they say double base and double exponent, I'm able to relate that to my math knowledge and say, oh, okay, so this first number is the base and the second number is the exponent. It also kind of matches the order if you think about what that would look like. So let's look at an example of how that would be used. So I have system.println math.pal x and y. Okay, what's x? Oh, x is 2 and y is 3. That's so crazy. That's what I just thought of in my head. And that's the exact answer, exact example here. All right, hooray. So this is going to evaluate 2 to the third power. So 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8. That's inside a println statement, so this will print out 8. And if we want to verify that, we can copy it, paste it, compile, save, and run, and yes, we get 8. If we change this, say we change the exponent to a 5, so this would be 2 to the 5th, so 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, which I believe is 32, and it is. And we could change these numbers as much as we wanted to. Another question. Can we use math methods in places other than print or println statements? So you saw that right here. Everything we've had so far is the math statements inside a print statement. You can put them in other places as well. In the example below, I'm using the max method to identify the larger value between x and y, and storing that value in another variable z. So let's go ahead and see what that happens. So here we go. Int x equals 4, int y equals 9, int z equals math.max xy. So now I have this expression over here. I'm going to figure out which one of those two is larger, and then whichever value is larger, I'm going to store that in z. Okay. Then I use the z inside the square root method and store the output value in variable a, and then print out a. So then right here we say math.square root z. So if we're thinking square root of 9, this should evaluate to 3. So it will store 3 there inside a and then print that out. If you want to, you can copy this program down and run it. It's a great example of storing the result of a method into a variable. Alright, so the next question is going to relate to this first word. What is that first word? We already kind of talked about it a little bit. That is the return type. But now we'll go down to the actual question. What does the word at the beginning of the method name mean? That's the return type. It is the method's output data type. Some methods return or output an integer, other methods return a double. We'll find out later that we will see methods that return maybe a string or some other, maybe a boolean or some other interesting things. So if you're calling a method that returns a double, then the variable you store the data in must be a double, or else you'll get a runtime error, which are those red lines of death. Similarly, if the method returns an integer, you should store it in an integer variable. So this is the example of the previous one. Note that the variable a is of type double. That's because math.square root returns a value of type double. So if we look right here, the documentation, double square root double x. So that this double that's in front of it, in front of the method name in the documentation, tells us that this method is going to send back or evaluate to or return a double. And so whenever we save that value, we want to make sure that we're saving it in a double variable, or a variable of type double. So quite a lot of vocabulary for the lesson. Here we go. So we talked about a method, which is a bit of code that Java runs whenever you call its name. Call a method is when your code runs that method. Invoke a method, that's pretty much the same thing, but it sounds a little bit fancier. The return value, which is the output data from a method, or return type, which is the output data type. So it could be int, double, math, so on and so forth. So there's a difference between the return value and the return type. In this situation up here, for example, going to look at our math.square root. We know that z was 9. So the value that this returns is 3. Actually, the value is 3.0. The type that it returns is a double. So that's just something we want to make sure we know, the return value and the return type. The parameter is the input data to a method. That's these guys, the stuff that you put inside the parentheses. And parameter type, which is the type of input data. All right. So for the assignment, I'm going to expect you to write 7 print line statements with different math methods. And you can read there, I want you to put numbers for the parameters, and then create 9 variables, and write 7 print line statements using the math method, and using different math methods, and put variables inside there. So I've got some more. I'm not going to read all this stuff. You can read through that. The one thing I just want to make very clear is that since these are in what are called the math class, anytime you call that one of these methods, square root, max, min, abs for absolute value, you have to have the math dot in front of it. If you try it without the math dot, it's not going to work. And you'll see that in every example that we have here, we always have the math dot. And that tells Java where it can find the particular command that we want. All right. Hope that was helpful for you, and you know a little bit more about the math class and those math methods that return values. Thanks for watching.